Okay, today's notes are going to be 1.3b, day 2. We are still solving and graphing multi-step inequalities. These particular problems are what you're going to see in level 3 of the test. So these are only slightly more complex than the problems we did yesterday. Those were level 2 problems. And this will be example 1. So I want you to think back and remember the steps we did when we were solving multi-step equations, and you're going to follow those same steps. So we will distribute, combine like terms, move the variable to one side, move the numbers or the constants to the other side, and then solve. Also, remember the golden rule. And if you don't remember what that is, go back to yesterday's notes. Okay, so first step is to distribute. So you're going to look for the number outside the parentheses. That's going to be -6, and you'll multiply. So first, let's bring down -5. We're not going to change that for now. Multiply -6 by -4x. That gives you positive 24x. Multiply -6 by 8. That's -48. Is less than -5x minus 24. Now you're going to look for like terms. Combine like terms, and the like terms have to be on the same side of the inequality. So I can see that on the left side I have -5 and -48. So in this step, I'll have 24x minus 53 is less than -5x minus 24. In my next step, I need to get the variable over to one side. And you guys know I like the x to be on the left. So I'm going to get rid of 5x that's on the right side. So inverse operation would be add 5x so now we have 29x minus 53 is less than -24. And now I move the constant to the right side, add 53. 29x is less than 29. Okay, and then the last step is just solve. So we're going to divide by the coefficient, which is 29. X is less than 1. Now I have the inequality, and I need to graph it on a number line and write the solution in interval notation. So here is my number line. I'm going to put 1 right in the center. Remember that negative infinity is this direction and positive infinity is this direction. So my graph, because it's a less than symbol, will be an open circle at 1 with an arrow pointing left. And my interval notation will be parentheses with negative infinity and then 1 parentheses. So my answer will have 3 parts. I'll have the inequality notation, the interval notation, and the graph. Example 2. gonna try to make this a little bit smaller to give me more space. Okay. So again, if it helps you to make this list on the side, distribute, combine like terms, get the variable to one side, get the numbers or constants to the other side, and then solve, you can do that. Or if you have the steps memorized, just start with looking for parentheses. We do have parentheses. The number that's going to be distributed is -3. -3 times x is -3x. -3 times 6 is -18. Plus 3x, that just comes down, and then is greater than 22 minus 5x. Next, look for like terms. On the left, I have -3x and +3x. If I add those together, it's 0. They actually cancel each other out. So on the left, I only now have -18. Now I need to move the variable. So plus 5x plus 5x. I always like the variable on the left side. So this becomes 5x. And remember, you cannot combine these two terms because they are not like terms. So we have 5x minus 18 is greater than 22. Now I move my constants to the right. Add 18. 5x is greater than 40. And the last step is solve. Divide by the coefficient. X is greater than 8. Okay, now I have my inequality notation. Here's my number line with 8 in the middle. And again, this is an open circle, and x is greater than, so it is going to the right. Remember, it's going toward positive infinity, so my interval notation will have positive infinity on the right, 8 on the left with parentheses. Okay, example 3. So I'm going to make my list. I think that helps me. D, C, V, N, S. First, we distribute. This time we're distributing on the right. We have -7. So I'm going to bring down everything on the left side. -8x plus 21 is less than or equal to, now I can multiply. -7 times 2x is -14x. -7 times -3 is positive 21, and we'll just bring down plus 6. Combine like terms. On the right side, I can combine 21 and 6. So -8x plus 21 is less than or equal to -14x plus 27. Now I move the variable to where it's only on the left side. Inverse operations, add 14x. (6x) plus 21 is less than or equal to 27. Now move the constant. Subtract 21. 6x is less than or equal to 6. And solve, divide by the coefficient. x is less than or equal to 1. So I'm going to draw my number line, put 1 there. And remember that negative infinity and infinity are on the number line as well. Now this time I have a less than or equal to sign. So we'll have a closed circle on my number line with an arrow going toward negative infinity. Interval notation will be negative infinity 1 with a bracket. Remember that infinity always has a parentheses, even if you see the closed circle on that number line. Okay, last example for today. Example 4. All right, look for where we can distribute. So I'm going to be distributing -6. So I'll bring down everything on the left side. And then now multiply -6 by 6. That's -36. -6 times -2x is positive 12x. And bring down plus 8x. Combine like terms. Remember that like terms have to be on the same side of the inequality. So on the right side, I have 12x and 8x. -23 plus 7x is greater than -36 plus 20x. Now I need to get the variable to the left side. Subtract 21x. Oops. Sorry about that. That should be 20x. Subtract 20x. -23 minus 13x is greater than -36. Move the constant to the right side. So add 23. -13x is greater than -36 plus 23 is -13. And now solve, divide by the coefficient, which my coefficient in this one is negative. Don't forget your golden rule. Oops. If you divide by a negative number, you need to flip that inequality. So this greater than becomes less than. So my answer is x is less than, should have been blue, x is less than 1. Number line with 1. And this less than gives an open circle on the number line with the arrow pointing left. Interval notation will be negative infinity 1.